Welcome to Camnet TV Main News. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. The headlines. 2 people shot dead by suspected criminals in LUSAKA'S SOS area. Traders question government's promises of ending load shedding. Lawyers representing Charity KATANGA raises concern against the state. In international news, Mozambique marks 50th anniversary of the Portuguese-led WIRIYAMU massacre. And in sports, competition is stiff as chess players seek to be part of the national team. Details coming through after this commercial.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Camnet Stars Football Club, popularly known as the local national team, is inviting all skillfully gifted, talented and creative soccer players from across Zambia. Ages between 16 and 20 must come, train and join the club. The category of these gifted footballers have the chance to go and market their talent in Europe and USA through Camnet Stars Football Club, a team formed with a vision to produce quality international players. Please do not miss this brief open opportunity given to you. Camnet Stars Football Club could be your gateway to your international soccer career. Venue, Kablonga Boys Secondary School grounds. Date 12th December 2022 to 21st January 2023. Time 09 hours to 11 hours. Your time to shine is now.
And now the main news in detail. Owner of electricity-dependent businesses in Lusaka have urged the current administration to expedite the expansion of alternative sources of energy aimed at complementing hydroelectricity, stating that electricity blackouts are negatively affecting their businesses. Speaking to Camnet News, one business owner, Adrida Tembo, says she is contemplating closing her business with the onset of the 6-hour load shedding management effective 15th December 2022, stating that she will be operating at a loss. She has further challenged the current administration to live up to their promises of bettering the lives of Zambians, stating that owners of electricity-dependent small-medium enterprises, SMEs, are set for the hardest times.
2021 statistics from the Ministry of Labour and Social Security show that 73.2% of working Zambians are employed in the informal sector, specialized in various businesses. The sector has also been seen as the only hope for Zambians who have been unsuccessful in finding employment in the public and private sectors. The forming of cooperatives using funding from the Constituency Development Fund (CDF) has also increased the number of businesses in this sector. Needless to say, most of these businesses are electricity dependent. In this regard, owners of electricity-dependent businesses in Lusaka have frowned upon the 6-hour load management schedule, which has begun Thursday, 15th December 2022, stating that this will kill most of their enterprises. A fresh fish seller, Kayumba Kasongo, says alternatives to hydroelectricity should be quickly actualized, as the load management has been attributed to low water levels at the Kariba Dam.
Then in Gaizamba road shedding, then Semonga Galo Bulsa fresh, Zankala afflicted. Because my name can be a Zambo and Malite maybe every day 6 hours. Then is Somba Zinkala fridge. So yo everything akupezeka road shading then maoda yakavuta kumangala taodelatu. So manje nishatuza tikulibo odelatu. Manje tizambo balance bwanje. So nchibaza chita affect sebazisku bafunika chi not inkareko ndemwe because nchizankara problem especially even mama butcher. Ninga bakambireko because ni same type of business ya mabucha na is same. Isemonga iswane tugulisira muno mload tupakinga tuburo gulisira pano but vikasalako vikankara defrosted then mind of bweza mu fridge manje ikapezeka ma light yaenda kwa bweza maybe yaenda all night yonse then nishinkara problem.
Let's promise study we present ali but let's promise that light yamweni so hapa light Africa kuyeni sifunika cha hapa ndio kai kwa bantu bafa light maona ka so light Africa kuwenda monga senshita 7 zai ndio zambo nongi so light Africa chela zikana ko che daily cha
monga izilio zatu izi ngati tangala tili be light zimaonongeka and as a result ngati zaonongeka ndisita pangalosi so tandezani tingafune kuti nga maybe things wa mwanga tandizile wa government or wakapena waike kuti ma solar system.
A saloon owner Adrida Tembo has also lamented.
Neni muolo muyangane saluni ni challenge ngani malaiti ni wesi cause saluni enda na malaiti once chapenga kulibe malaiti sunga sevenze chili chonse then bana tizasunga bwanji as a government ifunika yatiwonapo ife muno bazimai tivutika mwanti.
They say if no urgent action is taken, more citizens will be reduced to poverty as they survive through these businesses. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
Katambalala Market in Lusaka's Chipata compound under Mandevu constituency is a recipe for waterborne diseases as the garbage at the market has not been collected for 2 weeks now. Speaking to Camnet News, traders at the market say the filth includes decomposed dogs, further increasing the risk of various diseases at the market as several food items are sold there. Meanwhile, Lusaka City Council Public Relations Manager Chola Mwamba says the market has a specific community-based enterprise CBE responsible for collecting garbage at the market, stating that it is not the responsibility of the Lusaka City Council.
Poor sanitation in markets has remained a source of concern for many years now due to the filthy state of most markets, despite them being places where various food items are sold. From experiencing problems of sewer burst right in the markets to uncollected garbage, challenges in these facilities have been rife. This is Katambalala Market in Lusaka's Chipata compound of Mandevu constituency, where piles of garbage have remained uncollected for 14 days now, despite the traders making daily contributions of 3 kwacha each, much to their dismay.
Mabini haya kuna ya choke so kulisa nyama pa inzi zonse zitoka pa mabini zibwera pa nyama akastoma stiva aona kolela tingatwali pa mabini so afunika ya choke
mabini awali hapo tipasa matenda onani tukula nsima kule instance tuliera pamene apa pano kulisa ni mankhwala akuli abantu mbavinzi bonse mukhala pamene apa madaipa zikapaya viimbwa zwika mmasaka zwika pamene apa lombali yo ike bwino pakupeza nthema kununkha apa sitingakwanishe kuti vingaitetiani apa onani tilimuni onani vankawo valalipo makastomo lomba kuti zigule zifuna lini kamba kachinji kamadoti ali pano.
The traders add that the garbage, which includes decomposed dogs, overflows with maggots to their stands during downpours as the country is in the rain season.
Apa ni mapika mwana mwaonera tipoti ni mapika ero inzi na bikuzi paipata imbwa bamataya pamene pacha maiwana so sichionesa mushe monga ife bantu kunkala pantu paso at least council yachitandizirako ndise bantu naise batuona ko fast tingadole kolera matenda lani yapaka shugo mwana ndiye tandizo netipenda makabanga market yatu.
Meanwhile, Lusaka City Council Public Relations Manager Chola Mwamba, when contacted by Camnet News, explains that the market is under a specific community-based enterprise CBE, which is responsible for waste management in that area. The traders fear the worst, including the outbreak of cholera and other diarrheal diseases, if the status quo remains the same. Zipporah Mshala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
The opposition Citizens First political party has challenged the United Party for National Development Administration to explain why it has gone against its proclamation that load management will be a thing of the past during its administration. In an interview, Mr. Kalaba has accused the current administration of selling power to neighboring countries whilst disadvantaging its own citizens. ZESCO Managing Director Victor Mapani on Wednesday during a press briefing, however, stated that only electricity produced during peak hours is being sold to neighboring countries, with Zambia reserving the right to pull back some of this electricity should there be need. A countrywide schedule of 6 hours of load management has begun Thursday, 15th December 2022, attributed to low water levels at the Kariba Dam, which is the main source of Zambia's hydroelectricity.
We as Citizens First are quite disappointed that the promise that the President had given us in August this year, that load shedding in this country will be a thing of the past, has failed to reach its fruition. What we have seen is that load shedding is back. It's part of our lives because the Minister of Energy has announced that all of us are going to be having 6 hours of outages of power. I think this is not good. What we suspect ourselves is that government, instead of providing services to its people, they are now beginning to sell power to Mozambique, they are beginning to sell power to Zimbabwe, they are beginning to sell power to, oh my goodness, even power now has even gone. But anyway, this is what we're talking about. Now we are in the darkness, as I was talking about outages. But it is okay, I think we are disappointed as a people.
Over 32,000 marketers have so far benefited from the Marketers Booster loans being given by the Citizens Economic Empowerment Funds out of the targeted 75,000. Lusaka District Commissioner Rose Zulu has encouraged beneficiaries of the Citizens Economic Empowerment Marketers Loan Scheme of about 5,000 kwacha each to ensure that they prudently use the funds and return so that others can benefit. During an engagement in Lusaka's Chipata compound Thursday, Ms. Zulu explains that the funds are non-partisan and all those who apply and eligible are guaranteed of getting a share of the empowerment funds. Meanwhile, CEEC Public Relations and Communications Manager Mijelo Mukata says the beneficiaries of the funds should use them to boost their businesses and improve their livelihoods. We sincerely apologize for that. An 81-year-old who recently pleaded guilty to trafficking in 68 grams of marijuana has changed his plea to that of not guilty. Tai Mwape, who is being represented by legal aid board lawyer Petronella Kafombe, has pleaded not guilty to trafficking in psychotropic substances. Earlier, before the accused changed his plea, he had informed the Lusaka Magistrate Court that the marijuana found on him was meant to cure a childhood ear infection, as there was no medicine at the government hospital.
In a surprising turn of event, an 81-year-old man who recently admitted trafficking in 68 grams of marijuana has had a change of mind. Tai Mwape of Kavuma village in Waterfalls in Lusaka earlier pleaded guilty to a charge of trafficking in psychotropic substance. Following his plea of guilty before court, the state was scheduled this morning, Thursday, the 15th of December 2022, to present facts. Then the court proceeded with the accused sentencing. And when the matter came up this morning, the state requested the matter to be stand down for a few minutes for them to get a notice of seizure. However, after the matter was recalled, Mr. Mwape's defense lawyers informed the magistrate presiding over the case, Davis Chiwili, that they had received new instruction from the accused person of taking a fresh plea, prompting the court to read the charge against the accused once more of which he has pleaded not guilty. Allegations are that Mr. Mwape on the 26th of November 2022 trafficked in 68 grams of marijuana without lawful authority. Earlier, before he changed his plea, Mr. Mwape told the magistrate that the psychotropic substance officers found him with was meant to cure his grandchild's ear infection. And when questioned by the magistrate why he did not advise the child's parent to take the child to the hospital, the accused told the court that they did so, but there were no medicine at the hospital. Since the offense that he's facing is non-bailable, Mr. Mwape will have to wait until the 23rd of December 2022 for commencement of his trial. It was quite an emotional scene when the accused waved his daughters before going inside the prison holding cells as he thinks about his trial. Miriam Kaimba reporting for Camnet TV News.
In other news, lawyers representing former Deputy Inspector General of Police Charity Katanga has raised concern before the Lusaka Magistrate Court over the lack of interest by the state to prosecute the case against their client. When the matter came up for continued trial in a matter in which Ms. Katanga is accused of corruptly acquiring 10 Higer buses, her lawyers wonder why the state wanted to adjourn the case despite being warned by the court. In this case, particulars of the offense allege that Ms. Katanga, on dates unknown, but between January 1st, 2017 and June 6th, 2022 in Lusaka, jointly and whilst acting together with other persons unknown, did possess 10 Higer buses with motor vehicle registration numbers BAF 8518ZM, BAF 5119ZM, BAG 8558ZM, BAG 8559ZM, BAG 8733ZM, BAJ 2476ZM, BAJ 2590ZM, BAJ 2919ZM, BAV 2931ZM, and BAL 9126ZM, respectively, altogether valued at 26,282,770 kwacha, property reasonably suspected of being proceeds of crime.
Former Deputy Inspector General of Police Charity Katanga was again back in court Thursday with a corruption-related charge receiving an early adjournment following the state's application. Ms. Katanga, who served as the Deputy IG during the Patriotic Front administration, is accused of corruptly acquiring property, a charge which she has denied before the LUSAKA'S Magistrate Court. Yesterday, the 14th of December 2022, the court commenced hearing witness testimony with 2 so far testifying. When the matter came up this morning for continued trial, the state applied for an adjournment on the basis that the witness who they intended to call is unwell and admitted at Chawama General Hospital. Further, that the arresting officer in this matter is also unwell as he had his tooth removed. The application to adjourn was however objected by Ms. Katanga's lawyers, with them submitting that the state should either dismiss the case or proceed, citing lack of interest by them to proceed with the prosecution of an accused person they troubled for a long time. In ruling, the Chief Resident Magistrate Davis Chimbuli granted the state's application to adjourn the matter while taking into consideration the concerns raised by the defense team. Trial continues on the 16th of December 2022. The accused is facing 1 count of possession of property reasonably suspected to be proceeds of crime valued at over $2 million United States dollars and 1.5 million kwacha, contrary to Section 71 of the Forfeiture and Proceeds of Crime Act, number 19 of 2010 of the laws of Zambia. It is alleged that the accused between the 1st of January 2017 and the 6th of June 2022 bought 10 Higer buses valued at over 26 million kwacha, property believed to have been corruptly gained. Miriam Kaimba reporting for Camnet TV News.
We retake a story that we read earlier. Over 32,000 marketers have so far benefited from the Marketers Boosters loans being given by the Citizens Economic Empowerment Funds out of the targeted 75,000. Lusaka District Commissioner Rose Zulu has encouraged beneficiaries of the Citizens Economic Empowerment Marketers Loan Scheme of about 5,000 kwacha each to ensure that they prudently use the funds and return so that others can benefit. Speaking during an engagement in Lusaka's Chipata compound Thursday, Ms. Zulu explains that the funds are non-partisan and all those who apply and are eligible are guaranteed of getting a share of the empowerment funds. Meanwhile, CEEC Public Relations and Communications Manager Mijelo Mukata says the beneficiaries of the funds should use them to boost their businesses and improve their livelihood.
The jubilation by the marketers at Lusaka's Chipata compound says it all. They are happy that government is at least living to one of its promises, which is empowerment of traders as a means of poverty alleviation. The empowerment being done under the Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission has seen several cooperatives benefit from the funds. Those spoken to when Lusaka District Commissioner Rosa Zulu met them say they are happy that the booster loans were introduced, which they say have helped them order more products than before. They say this will help in putting food on their table, maximize profits resulting from interest-free loans.
Basalekelele napa bapaseko na benangu amesi banatenge bapaseko na benangu sibanatenge mukatambala market muwandu bavutika mukati mutikipite mu matebo simungakondwe muzambo peza kuti mutebo apa muntu agulisa tuntu tungono but ndrama alibe. So please na papata ba DC yanganani group yanu yonse si tinatenga ndrama na benangu banatenga benangu sibanabwele benangu bali na ma program tawauza so vanatenga ndrama tiyamika kuli va president watu bazamene vachita potipasa ife kuti tichite booster empowerment awo tiyamika chintu chikira chikuru mani choti dabwisa muno mama ndevu Southwest kalipo chitikapo so tiyamika bazamene vachita kuti na vamene basala benangu vachiteyo vachitiwe booster na bevi.
And Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission Public Relations Manager Mijelo Mukata urged the beneficiaries to return the funds within a specified time, adding that it is a revolving fund where others need to benefit.
Sevasise chachikondwelesa kukonana tikuno mnashita receive ndalama at least mama disbursement sentipanga namvera tvenango kaibo kushita receive venango mkaibo pokelera but tikayikusenzera apo kuti vantu bonse vapokelere ndalama. Yes, so apa tinashita target 75,000 marketeers countrywide. Ero kuno nakweve kuchipata market kuno navya kuima market yavi nakweve mzashita benefit ndalama. So long mnashita apply ero program hii kadi kubwela na futi but ise 20 pempa ako kuli mwene mwatenga ndalama nikubweza ndalama mukaziuzinga izi ndalama so ati bantu benango na beve bashiteko benefit. Alright, izi ndalama izi si ma grants, si ma handouts, si ndalama zoendo gwira masapto zanyu, ma wig, ndalama za business.
Meanwhile, Lusaka District Commissioner Rosa Zulu says government is committed to ending poverty through various empowerment funds, job creation, among other programs being put up.
Marketeers play a critical role in providing affordable, accessible and devised food for the urban poor, while at the same time supporting the livelihoods of millions of small-scale farmers, traders and vendors. Have you seen what I was telling you? You are number one. You are providing the food to the rich and to the what? The poor. Wonderful. Marketeer, move Most of the traders are female, young, and see their work as providing employment and livelihood opportunities that are denied to them elsewhere. That is the beauty. There is no age in markets. The old, the medium, and the young. Good.
Sharon Kalimbula, Camnet News, Lusaka.
A family of LUSAKA'S SOS area near the Chungu dam site have called on the police to bring to book the people behind the shooting to death of their daughter and a taxi driver. The deceased, identified as Bismarck Mushowo, whose age is unknown, and Elida Lungu, age 32, were shot in front of the residence of the female victim. The shooting happened in the early hours of Thursday, 15th December 2022, and police deputy spokesperson Dani Mwale has told Camnet News that investigations have been instituted in the matter.
The residents of LUSAKA'S SOS area near the Chunga dam site woke up to a shocking murder incident as 2 people were shot dead in front of the family house of the female victim by unknown people in unclear circumstances. The shooting happened in the early hours of Thursday, 15th December 2022. The deceased have been identified as Bismarck Mushowo, whose age is unknown, and Elida Lungu, aged 32. The Camnet TV news crew visited the crime scene and the funeral house. The family was gripped with fear, sadness, and sorrow as the mother to the victim shared with us the predicament of losing her daughter, who leaves behind 2 children.
Yali ya number 1 ya number 3 tuachisafuma akamwana kenda kamwana kakwaka umeka kutuko batini mutoni ba mami aisa sura kali windo kulia hapanya aisa mana moto kabakalesha tuifuma pali mputi tukatisafuma kaya lengera kebira onasanga aba umete ba mami ba ume kaingira tuachika kala mumanda namba tuasakama Bamba kutuma amafoni ya leli lafye. Ileli lafye mtokukaba nitena. Ileli lafye phone busy. Phone busy. Natalala. Bamusende bakabula na babene bayipa yoyumu bimendwe bamusende bakamwimye omuntu. Nashibata na fulano okuvulwa. Natalala ninde. Alaida nasho kumwimye na kwata. Awe aida kana. Nachiwelera mwana naisa kupimba beji shiti. Nomba na bantu bachisa na banemba babuma.
And the brother to the deceased also shared his views with Camnet News.
Forward to Zuluan. Chachwa kunshito. So, nabook na taxi. Panafika hapa. The motoka, unabura motoka kuchokera huko Cabo Road. Nango joina, then pa driver, namcha mampura tisabiri, then sister na yeve pura timozi. Kamo. So, choka hapo, natama ngubira kuno siku, na kifika pa UTH, nipena fera na kufera, but driver yeve hafa passport.
Zambia Police Deputy Spokesperson Dani Mwale says police visited the crime scene and have instituted investigations. Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
You're watching Camnet TV Main News. We take our first set of commercials. We'll be back with more after this.
Your skin is the biggest muscle in your body. That's why we make sure that Oracle is #1 when it comes to taking care of your precious skin. Oracle Pure Petroleum Jelly and Glycerin soothes, moisturizes and keeps your skin perfect. Oracle Pure Petroleum products for that perfect skin.
You know I can take her a bit.
Yes, my dear.
I was thinking of getting you a Bugatti on your birthday.
Really?
I'm quiet. My name is Yana.
Don't worry, my dear. That's why there is insurance.
Insurance?
You heard me.
Not just any kind of insurance, but Savenda General Insurance, a company that offers superior customer service, highly professional and dedicated staff. We are not just any insurance company, but an insurance company that actually pays our claims. We cover, among others, fire, marine, aviation, engineering, agriculture, motor vehicle, and miscellaneous insurance. So, live life to the full, knowing that Savenda General Insurance has got you covered. Savenda General Insurance. Insurance excellence.
A falcon, known for flying high speeds, unmistakably grace and flying incredible long distances. Falcon Express is equal to the task with your deliveries. Friendly and reliable, a company that cares for you, local and international coverage, company that empowers its customers on time, every time, all the time. Nationwide delivery.
Send your parcel through Falcon Express to Mongu, Kabwe, Ndola, Kapiri, Kitwe, Chingola, Chipata, Livingstone, Mazaboka, Kasama, Solwezi, Kalumbila, Chililabombwe, Luansha, Kalulushi. Get in touch with us on +260 971 130 766 and drop your parcels at Falcon Express. Falcon Express. Your parcels are safe with us.
Good news, good news. The rains have started. You need to plan your future. Generational wealth is the way to go. Has grafted avocado plants fruiting within 2 to 3 years for sale at only 90 kwacha each, and ordinary avocados at only 45 kwacha each. Contact us on 0979 753010 or 0962 965 883. We are open from 8 hours to 17 hours, Monday to Friday, at Healing Word Ministries International in Ibex Hill, opposite Hilltop Hospital.
Thank you for staying with us. We continue with the rest of the main news. Minister of Green Economy and Environment Collins Nzovu has charged that the climate change is only a foreign issue, adding that it needs concerted effort into combat. He says there is need to localize measures that help reduce climate change, such as planting more trees. The minister is also particularly impressed that farmers in Northwestern Province are being trained in sustainable agriculture, which he says will help in marinating and conserving nature. The minister was speaking during the launch of the 2022-2023 National Tree Planting Ceremony in Kalumbila District, Northwestern Province. And speaking at the same event, British High Commissioner to Zambia, Mr. Nicholas Woolley, says the United Kingdom will help Zambia unlock opportunities in various sectors among the conservation sector. Meanwhile, FQM Trident General Manager Junior Kaiser has pleaded to work closely with the government of Zambia.
We remain focused and disciplined to deliver these metals responsibly and place a high premium on the environment we operate in. For instance, this tree planting event is the end product of a well-planned investment into environmental protection and tangible actions we can all appreciate. Guest of honor, tree planting today is an investment for tomorrow. Our mines restoration strategies of converting waste dumps like this one into a forest by introducing indigenous trees, not only done to meet our compliance obligations or tick any boxes, but it is also because it's best practice.
Alongside this, we welcome what FQM is doing in a public-private partnership with the Zambian government for the protection and rehabilitation of the West Lunga management area, which covers nearly 12,000 square kilometres. It's great to see a mining organisation giving back to nature in this way, and its commitment as well to progressive restoration of the natural environment, and I hope this is an example that many others here in Zambia will follow. And it's not only the mining sector where the excellent partnership between the United Kingdom and Zambia is helping to deliver results in support of Zambia's natural environment. The UK hosted the UN Climate Change Summit, of course, COP26 in Glasgow last year.
Climate change is no longer a foreign thing. It's right here in Zambia, we're experiencing it. So we have to localize it. And we have to do something about it for our own survival. We all know that in planting trees we are directly contributing to mitigation measures of climate change, which when, if not addressed, pose a serious challenge to our very existence. Forests provide us with various ecosystem services such as water, fuel-wood, non-wood forest products such as mushrooms, honey, medicines and raw materials for the processing industries. We must conserve them and plant more trees. And again, thanks to FQM, because we want to partner with yourselves at scale. Indeed, you are planting 90 hectares and 60,000 trees. For the size of your operations, General Manager, it's not enough.
Heavy rains have destroyed property worth 150,000 kwacha at Chipata's Shisha homes. The heavy rains that lasted for close to 50 minutes yesterday blew off the roof to a 1x3 classroom block, leaving 10 computers in the ICT laboratory and learning materials in the other 2 classrooms completely soaked. Chipata Shisha Home's sister-in-charge, Petronella Chanda, confirmed the disaster of the institution. Sister-in-charge says the heavy rains that developed into a hailstorm started in the afternoon between 15 and 16 hours and blew off the roof of the storage room where food for the children is kept, soaking all the foodstuff. She told the Zambian News and Information Services, Zanis, that the wharfings also collapsed due to the heavy rains, adding that there is no security at the facility. The Shisha Home sister-in-charge has since appealed to well-wishers to come on board and render help so that the institution can quickly recover from the disaster and continue providing care to the vulnerable. Zanis has more.
What started as a blessing to farmers ended in disaster to some Chipata residents. A hailstorm that was experienced yesterday caused damage to structures and property, as those affected explain.
Manzi ananingenera kuipa muli watela ntiyanga nangena yanafuna wapa ya manzi yanachitofanya flash do vintu vambiri vaonongeka katundu yaonongeka kulibecha mena atenga apo vambiri vonse vonongeka so ni pempha thandiza kulwa boma vatipangireko mwamene mpita manzi drainage system very important.
So by the time that I was just realizing, I saw the wall falling, so it just missed me because of the bed, so the wall went and got stuck by the bed. But now water now was coming very high, so I had just to cling on the beam, the bars. Then after almost about 25 minutes, that's when the guys came in to break the door, and that's how I was rescued.
Home to children with disabilities, Chipata Cheshire Homes was not spared.
The roof to our classroom block for the children was blown off, and in the process we experienced some damages. 10 computers in the classroom were affected, were soaked, and then also the water spilled over into the warehouse because part of the warehouse's roof was also blown off. So sacks of maize got soaked. Even the orphans, has also fallen off. We're talking about 100 plus meters of the orphans. So the house to the sisters is also exposed. So to us, it's one of the concerns in terms of security.
To have such a damage, it's really, I don't know. To me, it's like death, because I don't even know where to touch to bring back the facility to where it was. At the moment, I would talk of the children that are in the home. They are 30. 20 are on holiday, but we have 10 who are still in the home because they are still going for reviews and waiting for dates for surgical operations.
The area councillor is appealing for help.
To appeal to DMMU and the other well-wishers that please, the situation on the ground is not good, more especially in terms of food, because there are some houses that whose roofs were not blown off, but they were submerged in water, making all the foodstuffs that were in the houses to be destroyed.
Abigail Kashwe-Kazanis in Chipata.
The Anti-Corruption Commission ACC has arrested former permanent secretary at the Ministry of Defense, Stedi Mwale, for corrupt practices involving more than 573.9 million United States dollars in relation to the procurement of a Gulfstream G650 presidential jet. According to a statement issued to Camnet TV by ACC Corporate Affairs Manager Timothy Mono, Mr. Mwale, 51, of Flat 21 Eureka Park in Makeni, has been charged with 3 counts of willful failure to comply with applicable law and procedure contrary to Section 342B, and 1 count of fraudulent facilitation of payment from the public revenue contrary to Section 342A1 of the Anti-Corruption Act No. 3 of 2012. Mr. Mono says investigations have established that Stedi Mwale, whilst acting together with other persons between the 1st of January 2017 and 31st December 2017, being permanent secretary and the chairperson of the Ministerial Procurement Committee for the Ministry of Defense, did willfully fail to comply with applicable law and procedure in the manner he approved the award of the tender number MOD MPC 02417 and signed the amendment of the contract number MOD MPC 0217 relating to the procurement of the modernization of the Defense Forces program at a contract price of $400 million to Albit System Limited without approval from the Ministry Procurement Committee. Investigations have also established that Stedi Mwale, whilst acting together with others between the 1st of January 2019 and 31st December 2019, being permanent secretary of the Ministry of Defense, did willfully fail to comply with applicable law and procedure in the manner he signed the novation of the contract number MOD MPC 00219 between Albit System Limited and Ministry of Defense to Savenda Systems Limited at a contract price of $123,965,000 United States dollars. International and sports news coming through right after this commercial.
In our quest to save nations and develop Africa, Savenda is investing in the agriculture sector so as to produce supply for both local and international markets, housing over 12,000 pullets that are nurtured and fed with our locally made stock feed that comes from our own locally grown maize and soya beans, all processed from our recently installed milling and mixing plant. Our over 95,000 layers have an output capacity of over 1,500 trays of fresh eggs per day that are carefully selected and packaged for all the leading stores and supermarkets nationwide. Our greenhouses are fitted with the latest irrigation system, and the seedlings are nurtured to ensure only healthy plants reach the fields. With our deliberate planting schedule, we are better placed to supply constantly without interruption, thus reliable. Savenda Farms is also changing lives of its dedicated workforce drawn from the local community and beyond. So the next time you think fresh and green, think Savenda Farms.
A falcon, known for flying high speeds, unmistakably grace and flying incredible long distances. Falcon Express is equal to the task with your deliveries. Friendly and reliable, a company that cares for you, local and international coverage. Company that empowers its customers on time, every time, all the time. Nationwide delivery.
Send your parcel through Falcon Express to Mongu, Kabwe, Ndola, Kapiri, Kitwe, Chingola, Chipata, Livingstone, Mazabuka, Kasama, Solwezi, Kalumbila, Chililabombwe, Luansha, Kalulushi. Get in touch with us on +260 971 130 766 and drop your parcels at Falcon Express. Falcon Express. Your parcels are safe with us.
Welcome back. We now get into our international item. On 16th December 1972, a village in northern Mozambique virtually disappeared from the map. WIRIYAMU saw its inhabitants killed one by one at the hands of the Portuguese military who invaded the territory during the colonial war. On the eve of the 50th anniversary of the massacre, only 4 survivors can tell the story in the first person. The survivors acknowledge that their courage was essential to maintain the independence movement. Here's a roundup of international news.
On 16 December 1972, a village in northern Mozambique virtually disappeared from the map. WIRIYAMU saw its inhabitants killed one by one at the hands of the Portuguese military who invaded the territory during the colonial war. On the eve of the 50th anniversary of the massacre, only 4 survivors can tell the story in the first person. Vinte Ganda still remembers how he lost friends and neighbors, and yet the population remained silent. The population always kept its silence and said, "No, we don't know." But then they started to kill. They thought that by killing one by one, some would be afraid and would tell the truth. The survivors acknowledged that their courage was essential to maintain the independence movement. Dokira Gunseho carries in her body the testimony of that day. They put us in the same place. The men went to a line. Whoever tried to escape was killed, while we women were sitting. Then they threw a grenade at where we were sitting. My mother-in-law fell, hit in the chest. I was wounded in the leg and fell down bathed in blood. Only in the evening I realized that I wasn't dead. It has taken almost 5 decades for Portugal to acknowledge the WIRIYAMU massacre. This year, Antonio Costa apologized to Mozambique for the barbarity committed during the colonial war and acts that, in the words of the Portuguese Prime Minister, is inexcusable and dishonors the memory of the country.
In the oasis town of Iferuan in northern Niger, getting patients who need urgent medical attention to health centers is a huge problem because of damaged roads. The roads are rough and can be washed out by downpours in the rainy season, according to Azuri Lau, who drives a 4-wheel drive ambulance. There is a serious road problem. That is what affects us. Every 10 days you have to look for new tires because of the rocks and the driving. This is one of our biggest problems. Asked what's on our wish list for a tiny clinic, Chimanda and Tafa start to reel off a long string of items. We need medical work equipment here. For example, bandage boxes, adult scales, and that would be the main thing. We need a lot of things. The head doctor in Iferuan, Ada Dauda, one of the 2 doctors in the area, says one of the biggest concerns was getting sick patients in a transport-worthy condition so that they could make the long trek to the hospital. A patient whose vital signs are in danger and who has to wait 5 to 10 hours to be treated, you can imagine what this is. In any case, this delay exists, and at our level we can get the patient in condition before sending him. But still, waiting 5 to 10 hours to be treated, you can imagine what damage it could do. The village health committee is proposing that local inhabitants contribute about 1,000 CFA, an equivalent of $1.5 a month, towards buying drugs for the health center. Stung by soaring price of food commodities, this single mother can no longer meet her usual weekly shopping budget.
Too expensive.
Ghana's currency is worth half of what it was last year. With fuel prices doubling and debt payments gobbling up government revenues, Ghana is battling its worst economic crisis in decades.
I went to the market today, going to shop for the week, and then I withdrawn 300 cedis thinking I'll get everything I needed. But I couldn't get anything. I got something though, but I didn't get to how I wanted to shop. And I even got nothing for my baby because I had a very less money left for me to shop for my baby.
Ghana signed a $3 billion bailout deal with the International Monetary Fund on Tuesday in a bid to shore up public finances, but economic stability is still a way off.
Yeah, the IMF deal to me has two folds or two dimensions. One is able to bring about macroeconomic stability, and with the macroeconomic stability, businesses are better able to plan. Individuals are able to live within their means because of the fundamentals will be very anchored and strong. The negative aspect have to do with the restrictions, government inability to employ more people, government inability to spend on social interventions that are very critical to the citizens.
NACOP's pack factory shuns out sachets of treated drinking water usually distributed in Accra markets. But all is not well with NACOP's. Like other small businesses in Ghana these days, the owner is struggling.
We planned closing our factory because we're not making any profit. Rather, we were putting in money for production. But we had a second thought that if we close it and we lay off our workers, how can they also survive? So for now, we are only producing and making loss.
Many Ghanaians are bracing up for potential austerity before any stability returns, with the impact of new taxes and spending cuts.
We now get into sports news. Chess Federation of Zambia CFZ is impressed with the turnout for the second phase of trials for the selection of chess players into the national team. Federation Committee member Mlenga tells Camnet News that there are 68 players, 50 are male, while 28 are female players. Mr. Mlenga is happy that more girls are competing to be part of the national team. And some players who spoke to Camnet Sports are confident of making it to the last phase of the trials despite the stiff competition.
Focus, strategic thinking can be observed through the chess players during the second phase of trials for a slot in the national team for the year 2023. Men and women, including young people, are participating in the tournament. Of these players, only a few can earn a place in the national team. Chess Federation of Zambia committee member Mlenga spoke to Camnet Sport.
From this stage, we are going to pick 12 players, 12 male and 12 female, and then they are going to be joined by the players who are currently in the national team. That's joining at the third phase, and then they are going to play kind of the stage will be knockout, because we need half of that number to remain. So they'll be paired, and they'll play best of 3 against each other. Then the winners will go to the last phase.
We also spoke to some players who by broadcast time played 1 match out of the 9.
Chess as an individual, it helps you to be creative and perhaps thinking beyond imagination, and in terms of life, it's able to improve your welfare. Just the way you're able to analyze and articulate things, chess is able to at least assist one or the other.
Others say the game of chess must be embraced owing to the numerous benefits, including restraining youths from vices such as alcohol and substance abuse.
Out of 9 games, I've played 1 and I've won 1. I've played 1 and I've won 1 so far. Just training hard so that I qualify in the national team. I can tell you like maybe 90% of chess players are good in maths. It's a game which sharpens the brain, and a game which which consumes a lot of people, like people of my age. Maybe since they don't have anything to do due to boredom, they might initiate themselves in drugs, all sort of things. So like chess is a game which can consume them. They would stop doing those things. It's a game which requires a lot of time.
Can say chess has got a lot of benefits, and I've been advocating for this for quite some time now, especially for the ladies. And also when we try to attach it to the economic value, it's got a lot of things that can help us as a society. For example, we can talk of these issues of mental health that are so much in our society today. People killing themselves because of one or two problems. I think these are things that we get to deal with in chess. Chess teaches you how you handle your emotional stress. It teaches you to concentrate more on the solution as compared to the problem that you are faced.
Well, they say playing chess is one activity that fully exercises your mind. Chess is quite like a brain tonic which enhances concentration, perseverance, as well as develops creativity. Most importantly, it teaches one a golden virtue of patience. Patrick Soko, Camnet Sport.
That sports item brings us to the end of Camnet TV main news, but before we go, here are the headlines once again. 2 people shot dead by suspected criminals in LUSAKA'S SOS area. Traders question government's promises of ending load shedding. Lawyers representing Charity Katanga raise concern against the state. In international news, Mozambique marks 50th anniversary of the Portuguese-led WIRIYAMU massacre. And in sports, competition is stiff as chess players seek to be part of the national team. Our Camnet verse of the day is coming from the book of Luke 1 verse 30 to 33, and it reads, "The angel said to Mary, 'Do not be afraid, you have found favor with God. You will be with child and give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus. He will be great and will be called the Son of the Most High. The Lord God will give him the throne of his father David, and he will reign over house of Jacob forever.'" Thank you for watching. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Pleasant viewing.